Everything's good. You have to excuse me while I test out how things are. I gotta listen, so I may have to mute myself in a bit. Just give me a second. I am on a new. Okay. Testing. Huh. I don't think my. Alright, here we go. Testing. So I am on a new setup. That's why I needed to test that real quick. It's an old. It's not a new setup. I just brought one of my computers upstairs. Doesn't have the greatest stuff on it. I'm actually using an old Zoom H1 for my mic. I think that's good enough. Anyways, if there's any issues, we'll figure it out from here. But anyway, alright, it says my bitrate is lower than recommended. I'll have to update my bitrate a little bit more later, but let's see how this goes. If it doesn't go well, I'll just have to redo it, I guess, delete it and redo this. But anyways, I was compiling Q&A with one of the moderators for NoNewNormal, and I was checking some of his links that he had, and those links went to NoNewNormal, and NoNewNormal has been banned. I don't know exactly when that happened, but it's pretty recent. I think I was on it last night, maybe. I like checking up on it. But anyways, I did not know exactly when it was banned, but it was banned pretty recently. So I think the first thing I want to do is go over the interview, the Q&A. We may do a recorded interview, and I mean, the moderator does want to keep anonymity, and I'm going to allow that just because of the issue at hand. So we'll go over the Q&A right now. The replies were done on August 23rd, so that was a couple of days ago, well over a week. This was when the subreddit was quarantined, so we'll probably do another one about the subreddit being banned. Okay, so first question was, when did you join subreddit for NoNewNormal, and what was it that got you involved? Reply, I am trying to look up my comment history, but it's taking forever to load. But off the top of my head, I think it was not too long after it was started in the summer. I think I would have either to have seen it on r lockdown skepticism or r coronavirus. I have always just been a free thinker and skeptical of any narrative, but my own understanding of the facts that were available at the time led to the skepticism as well. Number two, second question, when did you become a moderator? I just looked up the mod log and it doesn't have any listing for when I accepted the invite. I'm guessing the mod logs were scrubbed at some point or done automatically because I only see invites from the newer mods, but my recollection is maybe early fall, late summer 2020 I got the invite. I don't actually even remember getting it specifically, but only have a vague recollection. I remember thinking it was cool, but I had never been a moderator of anything that I can think of and didn't really know where to begin. So I think for quite a while I basically didn't do anything as mod, but was still more of a user than anything. And I'm not sure what the logs will show now because it might be too old to see the data, but my impression is that I started to become more active in moderating around the fall of 2020 or early winter. It was what I describe as the vaccine mod incident, where everything changed, but I don't remember being involved on anything that wasn't mundane moderation prior. Number 3, question 3. Sorry, let's keep doing it that way. As a moderator, what was different than when you were just a typical member? Kind of covered it in my previous question, and the meat of my story comes starting with the vaccine mod incident. You'll have to excuse me. My kid's gonna probably speak out. The reason I have this new setup is it's not in the basement, so I can easily, my kid has something to do. It's not hot and muggy down there. It is hot and muggy down there, and my dog, my new puppy, might need to go outside, and she doesn't like it down there very much either. Anyway, question 4. Do you know who started the subreddit and what they think about the quarantine of NoNewNormal? I know the account that is listed as the creator, and I've spoken to him a few times off the top of my head outside of his occasional involvement in the mod chat group that we have had that is using the chat functionality built into Reddit. I have not spoken to him directly that I can think of since quarantine, but that isn't unusual since our communication has been pretty sparse in general. Side note, I need to pull all of these communications as much as I can if they haven't already been scrubbed. I could speak a lot more off the record, but I can't do it publicly because it would be more or less doxing him via his location. But going back to the chat history with him, I found out he lives within 40 minutes where I am, so I wanted to meet him in person as soon as I heard that, but did not feel like he had any interest in doing so. I've been pretty open about where I live in San Jose, so I guess that could be communicated without mentioning his specific city now that I think about it. Question 5. What does being in quarantine mean? Will it mean the subreddit will eventually become banned? Well, obviously we know that now. I'm sure there are some things that you can look up, and I need to do some more digging on that myself or use some assistance like people have offered. Basically, the idea is to isolate the sub in order for it to not infect the rest of Reddit with our toxicity, which in our case, the interference, aka brigading, is the only thing mentioned as our specific pathogen. The big things observationally have been that we had the big orange yellow label on every post and a big warning at the top, which you can see for yourself on the web client. Functionally, we cannot cross-post or do any linking within subreddit. I can't even submit a comment that says "our coronavirus" or anything from the Reddit domain as far as I know, but you're welcome to check that out for yourself, of course. I could be misunderstanding some of this quarantine stuff because it's new to me, as I've never been a part of that sub that did this before. Part of a sub that did this before, excuse me. I just noticed it myself in particular when I was unable to notify users of this solution. And it's a Reddit link. And I'll get to some of the links that was provided earlier, and some I had to do some looking back on the web cache on the Wayback Machine. So, continued. I have been getting probably more than 100 mod mail messages with people who think the sub got shut down or went private, since they usually are asking for access, like "let me in," basically. I had no idea what they were talking about since we didn't go private, and it was a while until I did the Google search myself, since I had never had any issues myself, but apparently this has helped people. Basically, by the way, I basically tried to take a day off of Reddit as a protest or whatever, but also I didn't plan for it, but basically we went live with NoNewNormal.com because not doing so would have been foolish, and we were trying to start a beta of around 20 people anyways. There are probably some technical specifics about accessibility that I'm not familiar or particularly concerned with at this point, but I think perhaps the most important part of quarantine is that we can no longer show up on people's feeds via RL or whatever it is. I've never paid much attention to when we have hit the RL because it's not important to me, since I almost never look at that feed because it's garbage. I think I used to many years ago, but probably with the toxicity of Reddit increasing, I eventually had to limit my participation to subreddits selected by myself. I do believe that we are starting to hit our all of more frequency because of frequent messages in Modmail where angry trolls were upset about us getting into their feed. Side note on that is the number of users who sent Modmail requesting to be banned because they don't want to see it in their feed, which I sometimes would do if they were nice about it, even though I've always wondered if it's some kind of trick. I don't know. I don't understand why these people don't simply ignore the content they don't like. I think that's what he was trying to say. So let's do that. But that's a question that is at the core of all this, that I don't have any answers for unless I get philosophical and speculate, etc. My understanding of whether we will get banned or not, it is that it's not a matter of if, but more so when we will get banned, because I'm not aware of any sub that has gotten out of quarantine or that didn't eventually get banned after. I tried to reply to the official message from the admin and they removed the option to reply, so I have to look up the details on the appeals process. I don't know how to contact the admins at this point. But speaking to that, I actually had tried contacting them, I like to say a week or so more prior to the quarantine, because there's an automated Modmail that was sent out because of the sub size and growth rate. I can look that up really quick because I like to see the exact language. I'm pretty sure one of the options was contact us to get help or answer any questions, and a link to do so, which I'm pretty sure I did without any reply. So I don't know if I could pull up the actual contact I made, but there are my notes about it at least. And by the way, generally this is mostly going off of my imperfect memory, so would need to be verified when possible. But it looks like my recollection here is pretty close in terms of the time frame. And I'm gonna spend some time looking at the links provided just for a little bit. So this was about the how do I access quarantine subreddit that was sent. Here's the image. About that. Anyways, anyway, I've looked at two posts because they were deleted. So, anyways, let's go back to the Q&A. Question 6. Typically, when a platform for a particular group gets shut down, the group either moves onto another platform to eventually experience the same thing, which is censorship, or they splinter to different platforms and into smaller groups. What are your thoughts for transitioning to other platforms? Also, have you heard of DApps, which is decentralized apps on cryptocurrency blockchains? Yes, that's a huge issue right now, and probably would want to speak with you over voice again to get into that, because there have been developments and even something juicier related to that, but going public on that stuff actually makes me concerned for my in real life safety to some extent. My in real life safety, or at least freedom from getting falsely accused and set up and thrown in jail, is a very realistic concern, as well as something worse. Question 7. The people against our NoNewNormal seem to want to categorize the subreddit in order to find a way to get it taken down. There's even been a petition on change.org for it to get removed. Why do you think that is? Same answer as 6. New shit has come to light and we can discuss it over voice again. Now, there were 2 additional questions, but I think me and the moderator the moderator and I are going to eventually have another conversation. The moderator didn't want me to record the conversation, so I didn't. But this next one, we're going to record it just in case the moderator says something that the moderator doesn't want getting out. I can go ahead and edit that and then just upload it or live stream it, the conversation in the future. So just keep that in mind, so question 8, despite the quarantine, the amount of members in NoNewNormal has kept growing. Do you think there's a threshold like 150,000 members where Reddit will eventually take down the subreddit? And I think the amount was 125,000 members when it finally got shut down. So the answer, based on what I've said previously, you should interpret that we already hit the threshold, but I can flesh out some more insight over the phone. Basically, everything else on the list, I think we could tackle over a voice call at some point. I would love to craft a well thought out response to number 10, but could do my best over the phone as well. Anyways, that is the Q&A with the moderator, and stay tuned. We'll go ahead and have that conversation. I don't know when, but we're planning on it. Here's a couple of links that I found. We're basically it's weird to say weird, but yeah, we're basically linking to like what the government is already saying and interpreting what that is. And here was the a capture, because this was on, I think, the original Reddit, but I couldn't find it, so I had to go to web archive right here. It's an open letter to admins about COVID disinfo by Nate the Great. We demand that Reddit take action against the rampant coronavirus misinformation on their website. Anyways, it's basically probably right here. The following subreddits must at a minimum be banned: are NoNewNormal and are Ivermectin. Anyways, there's someone saying, hey, wouldn't it be funny if it was quarantine? And it was. Not very funny, really. All right, let's see. The moderator, I think, was suspended for a comment. There's this NoNewNormal comments. Got my first doses of Pfizer vaccine today, and that was in NoNewNormal, and it got since it got banned, we can't access it. But Wayback Machine, web.archive.org. I found the latest website cache of it. So basically, Schumann Web, and I think Schumann Web was one of the moderators. So one of the moderators of NoNewNormal was basically like Rage Against the Machine, where eventually they initiated being against the machine, now support the machine. So it was the same thing. Basically, the moderator said, got the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine this afternoon and now glow in the dark when you turn off the lights. Just kidding. Seriously, it was fine. The needle didn't even hurt going in, and the only side effect that I felt from it is some very mild soreness in my left arm, but that's normal for a vaccine, and so I'm not worried about it. I've had worse soreness from other vaccines in the past. My biggest complaint about the whole thing was that I had to go all the way out to Sterling, Virginia to get it. I live in Gaithersburg, Maryland, so that meant a 35-mile trip each way. I have my appointment for the second dose on March 15th. Once that's completed, I will consider my role in helping to end this pandemic, i.e. getting the vaccine when it becomes available as having been completed in full. That said, I implore all of you to get your vaccine when it becomes available to you. This is where I put my foot down because vaccines work. I've been critical of everything else that I've been asked to do, from eating outside to social distancing to masks to plexiglass shields to glory holes to whatever else, as a security theater nonsense that it is. All of that was there just to make people feel like they were doing something to help, when there was really nothing that they could do until the vaccine was ready. The vaccine is the real deal. Seriously, unless you have a legitimate medication that prevents you from getting the vaccine, you need to do it. So my guess is one of the rumors that I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, is that this was one of the original moderators, possibly an administrator of Reddit. Not sure. But anyways, you can tell by some of the comments. This is when NoNewNormal was 46,411. And I think I joined when there's like 20,000 members. I can't remember. But it was around then. I remember it was low. It's like, we're growing pretty quick. And then here's some responses. Just FYI, the mod team, Habib, another moderator for NoNewNormal. The mod team disagrees with this post being sticky, but when another mod unstickies it, the original poster just stickies back up. So definitely Schumann Webb is a moderator with a NoNewNormal, and the rest of the moderator team disagreed with it being sticky. It's fine with it being posted. Anyways, illustrious I, it's none of your business what I do with my body, and I don't really care what you do with yours either. Quit gloating. Sun Street, that's right here. This right here. And then what are typhoons? This. Septune Siren seconded. Just Jesui 2030. I guess OP wants to know what sex positions we all do and if we were mastering sex and use glory holes because government says it's safe. Maybe they would like to know what we ate today, how much CO2 we exhaled. Lols. Sure, I heard it's the second shot that fucks you up. Not Neville, my dad and my ex both got it and both got pretty sick from the second dose, but seem okay now. Bend over NYS. I mean, there's just so much to go. But yeah, Laos 91. Yeah, I just started new birth control medication too. It was previously banned for years due to side effects. Doesn't stop me from getting pregnant. And my partner still has to use a condom as well. That's pretty much what this vaccine is. It's gene therapy, not an inoculation. Red Wakasushi. Why is this the first post on the sub? What is happening here? Logard. Nah, I'm good. I'll take my chances with a 99.9% survival rate. M Loco 87. What he said. Bend over NYS. My doctor said he isn't actively encouraging his patients to get it as of yet, feeling alright a few hours after taking this vaccine. Doesn't make it safe. It isn't my job to end anything. None of your business what I put into my body. Do what you want. Receiving it doesn't make you an expert on it. Big Tree 17. They always infiltrate and take over any organization working against them, replying to why is this the first post on the step, which is why is it sticky? Not just Reddit, but all organizations, period, infiltrate to control, divide, and conquer. Reddit username 123. Seriously, this is the canary in the coal mine for this sub. I had to read the post twice to make sure it wasn't satire. Like, what the fuck did I just read? Dirk. This sub will either be banned or brigaded to death shortly. This mod is a shill and should go perform Chinese-style COVID tests on themselves. Where are we going next? Anyways. You get the gist. You can find the entire URL here and just add it into Wayback Machine. You can read all the comments yourself. Let's see. Here's so look, NoNewNormal was at 124,064 members. So very close to 125,000 members on NoNewNormal until it was banned. Now there's this user Sneed666 who posted on non-offending MAP. I don't know what that means, but are you happy? NNN, the non-offending minor attracted people subreddit has closed its doors because of you. You're on the wrong side of humor. So basically this person, I mean, it was removed by a moderator, not a spam, but yeah, there's a Sneed666. If you look at the person, is a shill. I think not very much karma for being around for a long time, but basically, yeah, probably helped uh, with with getting, I guess, no new normal ban. Basically, posting pedophiliac content, right? It's just trying to do whatever it takes because there's no censorship on the No New Normal subreddit. So, trying to figure out ways to post stuff on New Normal by saying that it's subreddit of pedos or something, which this person probably is a pedo if that it actually is that person. Ava30 is a subreddit user also that deleted their account, but they're also doing the same thing. So we'll see if Sneed666 eventually deletes his account. And here's the last one. There's basically a saved image on it. Basically, there's a Redditor, the extremist moderate. And to think, all it took was the mods of the subreddit creating a fake pedo sub and faking part of a protest. It's frankly disappointing that it took this long for Reddit to actually do something. So that's probably not true. And Chocorito, finally, LOL. Me and my friends were role-playing to be alt-right anti-vaxxers. They're posting fakes, harassing people, and somehow we all stayed unbanned. So basically admitting that they were posting fake stuff on No New Normal in order to get No New Normal banned. One of my friends created the MAP subreddit. I still need to figure out what MAP means. And privated it, and mods there just ate it. LOL. We believe that was the reason for the ban. I love Reddit. So basically, trolls, shills, fakes, liars posted fake information on the No New Normal subreddit where people actually against what was going on, and they were actually posting facts and truth and whatnot. And of course, the people post lies in order to get to No Normal subreddit ban. All right, what does map? I'm gonna use Urban Dictionary because minor attractive person. Oh, that's what that means. Yeah, so basically, yeah, basically pedophiles were posting pedophilia content, No New Normal, and getting New Normal banned, but the pedophiles themselves aren't getting banned. So that's basically it. I am gonna check and see if there's Hyper Slow 556 in YouTube chat. I love how the narrative has to distract from the fact that the sub was anti-authoritarian. The sinking Reddit ship has nothing to do with this info. It's about control by control freaks. Yeah, alright. That's it. And we'll see how the video turned out because I can't see it while I'm streaming. So if we had to do it again, we may have to do it again. All right. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in another